Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to entitle this video, Will There Be Another Civil War in Babylon the Great? So anyway, this was in my notifications. This is off-grid desert farming with Paul and Adrian, and I subscribe to them. Anyway, the topic of this particular video is breaking news: U.S. on brink of civil war as multiple states now sending troops to Texas. Now you have National Guard. Each state has their own National Guard, which is the militia. So you always have a military always standing, holding point, standing down. That's why you have the militia, you have the organized militia, and you have the unorganized militia. The unorganized militia, if you go into the United States Code, I believe it's Title 10, it speaks about men from the ages of 18 to 25, either 18 to 25 or 17, I believe it's 18 to 25. But they can draft you at the age of 16 and 17. They did that in an arm. And then it extends to 45. The age 45, but it's between. So when there's a war and there's a draft, they declare a draft. You have men that when they hit 18 years old, they have to register with selective services. So they already got you in a box, so to speak, and they have a lottery. Whether it's rigged or not, I don't know. And they'll call your name out. So you might have grown up with certain dudes in your hood, and maybe you will be called, and the rest of your homeboys, they're not going to be called. And then maybe 3 blocks down, somebody will be called, because when a standing army is formed pursuant to the Constitution, standing army, a U.S. Army, pursuant to the Constitution, has to be standing for 2 years, then it has to be dismantled. So this, army, you're going to see a lot of more movies on the bravity of the military men. A lot of these war type movies to get you hyped, and you're going to see a lot more commercials for the I'll say the 4 branches of the military: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine. But there's really 6 of them, you can say. I'm not going to mention the others. You got the Space Force, but you got your Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and they mainly when you draft it, is mainly the Army, but it's all of the branches, if I'm not mistaken. But Army is a big one. So you go to the post office, because I had to do it when I hit 18. I had to go to the post office. It was long before I came to the truth, and I had to get a form and I had to sign my name and everything to the selective services. So if there was a war that broke out during that time period, in between the ages of me being 18 to 25, they could have said, okay, we're at war, we got the draft is in place, you going. So now you got, coming back to the National Guard, or the organized and unorganized militia, which are boys of war fighting age. If you notice, there's videos of individuals from West Africa, different parts of Africa, the Arab world, Chinese nationals, people that don't speak English, that are not from anywhere from South America, from Venezuela, from Panama, from Mexico. These are nationals from other nations outside of the U.S., outside of even Central and South America. And when you watch these news clips, they're all men of military age. They all look, you look at him, he looks to be anywhere between, he looks to be about 22. He looks to be about 18. He looks to be about 17. So they're setting up an army. There's a plan going on, and they're not bringing them in there because we love the world and we want you to taste our freedoms. No, 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 no. Shit is getting ready to get hot. So this is the video that I haven't even watched. It says U.S. and this is from the War News 24/7, which is an actual a news website, and that's all they talk about is war, news pertaining to war. So it says U.S. on the brink of civil war. 25 states, and I spoke about this earlier, have activated the Constitution and deployed the National Guard or the various state National Guards. You got the New York State National Guard. You got the New Jersey National Guard. You got the which would be the organized militia. It says preparing for battle with Biden forces. It says 25 states call for ultimate treason by Biden. 24-hour trumpet from Biden. Read that again. 25 states call for ultimate treason by Biden. 24-hour trumpet from Biden. Now it says right here, and I haven't watched this. This was put up 5 hours ago. And see, Jake ain't talking like this, man. It's these Edomites, these Bible thumping born againers, these Bible belt Southern the Confederate type people, militia type people. Jake ain't talking like this, man. Jake ain't talking like this. Jake is looking to get a fucking free check. A reparations. Jake, look, this shit is gonna get broken down, man. That's why you can't worry about Jake. I was watching, listening to a video on the way back, back up to my crib, and it was Captain Cesaria against Elder Yara, and I caught the first guy that was up, because I caught it after it started, was Elder Yara going into proving that reincarnation is not biblical. And he was going into like all these Abba, all these guys, Cherry, all these different guys. They were all Masons, and reincarnation is a Masonic belief and all that. And I was saying in my mind, I said, well, wait a minute. If Masons believe in reincarnation and we believe in reincarnation, that doesn't make us Masons. You know what I'm saying? Or we're not following the Masons. You had a couple of days ago, you had two congressmen saying that the UFOs are angels. Angels are flying with UFOs. So now, can people say, well, you Hebrew Israelites are going off, you saying that the UFOs are angels, you're following the Congress people. So you, just like the way, look, even Edomites believe in the Messiah, the Messiah and the 12. There's Edomites that now teaching that the Messiah and the 12 and the Israelites are so-called people of color. So does that make us go off? You got a Satanist that believes that there's a Most High. Well, does that make us a Satanist? So then the round came up with Captain Tazariak, and basically he blew that dude out the water. With the scriptures that he lined up. He lined up some very good scriptures. You should watch the video. Captain Desire. Like I said, if you're going off, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna get on you. But if you're on point, I'm gonna praise you. I have to praise Captain Desire because he was on point. He was pulling out precepts that I didn't even know about. I mean, I could have found them if I was putting something together, but he was using scriptures but there was some scriptures that I would have pulled out that he didn't pull out, but he used other scriptures that I really don't use. And really, reincarnation, let me get back into the subject. Reincarnation boils down, we used to bring out a whole lot of different precepts, the law, this, that. Pretty much all you need is a handful of precepts. Malachi 4, Matthew 11, and Matthew 17. And if you can't get it on those three precepts dealing with, John or John the Baptist or Elijah, if you can't see it with them three precepts, you don't need no more precepts. Then it ain't meant for you to understand it. Reincarnation is biblical, man. Every last one of us was here in another life. But watch the video. He was on point. And then after that, I couldn't listen. The elder Yerah came up, and he was saying, "Well, wait a minute. Elijah had spiritual power. Did John have spiritual power? Elijah did this. Did John do that?" But that has nothing to do with what the scripture said. Oh, and what caps it off is when Yahushua said, "This is Elijah which is forth to come." This John, if you will receive it, this is Elijah which is forth to come. And he was saying, well, the angel said this, and they didn't. Yahushua is over the angels, man. So the ones that's going to believe, go against the whole reincarnation doctrine, are the ones that are not of the elect. It boils down to the 144,000 in the elect. If we perceive that you're not one of the elect, if you buck up against this thing one, twice, even three times, so after the first and second admonition, reject. So we'll tell you something, you can't get it. We'll tell you something else, you can't get it. Now we're already thinking this guy ain't one of the elect. We might even go a third round with you. This guy's definitely not a elect. So don't waste your time. See, I don't believe in that debate thing. We ain't in a time of debate. All hell is getting ready to break loose. What the hell am I gonna sit down and debate whether Yahushua wore brown sandals or black sandals? So anyway, you can watch this video. Like I said, I clicked on it to watch it, and I saw this. I said, boom. And there is a website called War News 24/7. And what do they talk about? News around war around the world. We're in a time of wars and rumors of wars. The U.S. is already at war. They send troops over there to the Middle East. They're getting attacked, and they're attacking. So I'm going to give you a couple of precepts, and I'm going to close. I'm trying to get... Oh, I'm sorry. Here's a video. Texas has been warned. Are we heading to Civil War 2.0? Because this will be the second Civil War. This first Civil War was 1861 during Lincoln's administration. Now remember, he got assassinated. And there's a whole backstory on that. That's a whole different story. It says, oh, this is the video right here. Captain Zariak versus Elder Yerah. Does the scripture support reincarnation? You got damn right it supports reincarnation. That's why after Captain Zariak did his round, I looked at it as a first round knockout. I said, what the hell, I got to listen to this? And then I heard a little bit more of the Elder Yerah, and I said, I don't got to listen to this no more. Anyway, here's a video. It says, you have 24 hours or else. Well, you got 25, which is half. If a kingdom be divided, that kingdom could not stand. That kingdom could not go on. U.S. on the brink of civil war, which is 2.0. 25 states, you got 50 states, contiguous states, have activated the Constitution and deployed the National Guard, their prospective National Guards, Jersey Guard, New York Guard, Texas Guard, California Guard, the New Hampshire Guard. So it's a exact split down the middle. It said the National Guard or guards preparing for battle with Biden forces. Here goes your wars and rumors of wars. So I'm gonna give you a couple of precepts. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get in the habit of not going real long. You hit the point and then you move on. So let's see how far I can hit these points. Job 5 verse 12. I was putting precepts together, and if precepts kept coming, I said, you know what, I got to stop because I'll be done put 50 precepts together. I'm sorry. The hell am I doing? Look at this, Edomites. I hit the wrong, this is what I'm supposed to hit. Job 5 verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He's going to upset their plans. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. Headlong meaning in boxing, if you get hit with a shot and you get knocked out while you're standing, you're going to fall down headlong. You're going to fall down, bam, hit the canvas. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and meaning secretly. That's also Psalm 64, Psalms 10, and grope in the noonday as in the night. But he saveth the poor, which are the Israelites, from the sword and their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty, which is the military. So in the midst of that war, that's martial law right there. If there's a civil war, that's martial law. The Constitution, by the way, is suspended during martial law. Now remember, Lincoln, he suspended the Constitution because it was in the midst of a civil war. But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. So the poor, which are the Israelites, have hope. Ye prisoners of hope. And iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom the Most High correcteth. The scriptures also say we be corrected by measure, little by little. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. For he maketh sore and bindeth up, he woundeth, and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in the 7th there shall no evil touch thee. Because the 7 is when the missiles are dropped. We're in between the 6th and 7th angel, or trumpet, or trouble. And famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the field, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field. We're going to be as pilgrims on the earth. We are pilgrims on the earth. We're a nation in exile. So we're pilgrims. And the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. You can read the rest. Like I said, I promise not to make this long. Psalms 27 verse 3. Though an host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident. And I'm not going to read this whole, you can read this whole chapter. And this is a psalm of David, because he had many wars and he had to big himself up. And remember, these are songs. So he's singing these war songs. Look, I'm not going to be afraid of the enemy. The Most High is with me. This, that, and the third. Psalm 68 and 30. Let's see what that says. Rebuke the company of spearmen, the multitude of the bulls, with the calves of the people, till everyone submit himself, and pieces of silver scattered down the people that delight in war. What's going to happen to these people? They're going to be scattered because they love war. Psalm 73 verse 6. Let's see what that says. Again, you can start from the first verse. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. So that's what they're all about. And like I said, you can read that whole psalm. Revelation 6 and 4. Remember, these scriptures, you got, in order for you to decipher these scriptures, you got to have the cheat sheet. Most High gave us this cheat sheet through the Spirit. He supped with us. That's why the brother Yerah, Elder Yerah, can't see the reincarnation thing, because the Most High is not supping with him. And he said, he called on Yahweh's name, but he said Yeshua. But then he said Yeshua, Yahushai. He doesn't have two names. He has one name. That's Yahushai. And there went out another horse that was red and power. Who's red? You got the red dragon, right? The beast. What does the red signify? It represents Esau. It signifies Esau. Represents Esau. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. That's what this meant. They've made the world a wilderness. Isaiah 14. And that they should kill one another. What? They should kill one another. That's civil war. And there was given unto him a great sword. A great sword. When the tribes had to go against Benjamin, what was that? That was a civil war. That was a civil war. Amos 3 verse 10. For they know not to do right, saith Yahweh, who store up violence and robbery in their palaces. Everything is as soon as this man stepped foot out of Mount Seir or Petra, everything that he got outside of Mount Seir, he stole. But he was blessed with that sword from Yahushai by Yahushai. Isaac is Yahushai, reincarnated. Let me jump the gun. You got to read a couple of verses above that. I'm going right to the point. This is when Jacob supplanted Esau for Esau's blessing because he was the firstborn. And he cried bitterly unto his father Isaac. And he said, Father, do thou have but one blessing for me, Father? And he said, yeah. 40th verse. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, when you come into rulership, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Now I want to go to the commentary just to see what they say. We know what that's talking about during the time of the kings of Israel, the kings of Judah, actually. Okay, what I want to do is Cambridge. I always go to Cambridge, Bible for Schools and Colleges. By the sword thou shalt serve thy brother. Genesis 25. Genesis 25, verse 23. And the Lord said to her, two nations shall be it come out of thy womb, and two manner of people. We know the rest of the story. The people of Edom were first subjugated by Israel in the reign of David, which is 2 Samuel 8, verse 14. And he put garrisons. Now, a modern day garrison would be a precinct. Like if you live in New York City, the police are considered garrisons, and they have a certain, you have this precinct, that precinct, they're all by numbers, and they deal with jurisdictions. You know, the 22nd precinct can't get you if you committed a crime in the 23rd precinct, but if you're in hot pursuit, they can go outside the jurisdiction. So a garrison, so you can understand, is a precinct. And he put garrisons in Edom. You got a New York City cop that's in New Jersey. He sees you go through a red light. He can't do nothing because he has no jurisdiction. If he pulls you over and he said, I saw you go to that red light, they go to court. The first thing I'm going to do is challenge jurisdiction. You outside of your precinct, your jurisdiction, your garrison. But a garrison was an actual wall that they built. See, the garrisons today are invisible walls. Throughout all Edom, put he garrisons, and all day of Edom became David's slaves. Servants is a nice way of saying slaves. And the Lord Yahweh preserved David wherever he went. Break loose. Better as driver become restless. The word in the original is obscure, being found elsewhere only in Psalm 55 verse 2. Restless, Jeremiah 2 verse 31. Broken loose, Hosea 11 verse 12. I'm not going to read that. Probably the metaphor is that of an animal shaking itself free from resistance, the AV, whatever that stands for, shall have dominion is quite impossible, Dillman, when they shall make effort or strive, as the Arabian and Ethiopian versions. I want to just say it in plain English. It says, shake thy neck. The metaphor is that of the bull refusing to the yoke. Edom, I like that breakdown, analogy. Edom successfully threw off the yoke of the kingdom of Judah. And this is why we were putting yokes too. Your yoke of iron shall be put upon thy neck. In the reigns of Jehoram, that's when they broke off. That was after King David. That's in 2 Kings 8, verse 20 to 22. Submission to Assyria. Edom appears among those who paid tribute to the Assyrian king Tiglath-Pileser III. So let's come on back. Obadiah 1 and 10 says what? Because of the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. In other words, you're gonna get an ass whipping. Micah 2 verse 2. Really, I'm gonna start from 1. Copy. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, they want fields, and take them by violence. Everything that you do goes back to the blessing of the sword by Isaac, which is our Lord Yahushua. So who blessed Esau? Who blessed Esau with the sword? Yahushua. And guess what? At that time, Yahushua loved Esau more than he loved Jacob. Yahushua's favorite at that time was Esau. And Jacob's and Rebecca, her favorite was Jacob. Because she said put the pottage together, the venison for Isaac. So she was scheming with Jake. It says, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Heritage represents the land that you own. They took our land, but it also represents your heritage is also a part of your custom. Like if you go to Greece, certain parts of Greece, they eat certain foods, they play certain music. You go to China, they speak. Heritage is inheritance and heritage. Matter of fact, let me do this. Right, inheritance, possession. What do we possess that they took? They took the land, but they also took who we are as a people. That's why they're saying when we say we're the people, they're saying you're anti-Sep. Why are they saying that? Because they're saying you're not the people. But how are we not the people? We're not the people because they stole our heritage. They stole the land, and they stole the laws and the customs and the ways of life. That's where you get the word ethnic, ethnicity, ethnos in the Greek, in the New Testament, ethnos. Like you go to Africa. There's certain areas that you go in Africa. They're all Africans, but they're different races of Africans, right? And they all have a different ethnos. Property, share, inheritance, portion. Inheritance represents your land and the things that are on the land, the gold that's in the earth, the silver that's in the earth, the oil that's in the earth. But it also represents the custom behind it. The old saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, because Rome had a certain custom that was different from the Greeks. Antiochus Epiphanes tried to put his custom of the Greeks upon us. That we would wear a hat, that we would dress in the Greek fashion, that we would eat things that goes against the law, that we cannot call ourselves Israelites, that you couldn't circumcise your sons. What were they doing? They were changing your ethnicity. You had to do it. When you come back to the New Testament, the Gentiles and the heathens and the Greeks, those are all Israelites that were thinking like all of us before we came to this truth. We were all heathen, Gentiles, Greeks, so you can understand. Okay, let me come back over here. I'm sorry. Let me come back over here. Let me bring this back. Said I wasn't going to make this long. I didn't keep my promise. It says, even a man in his heritage. Because they didn't just take the land, let's say they took the land and they allowed us to still be Israelites. Then we'd be saying, look, we're the Israelites, that's our land. You got the world court and so forth. That's why they're in the land in the first place, justifying the fact that they can push out the Palestinians because they're the people and they're not the people. But if you say that, you're anti-Semitic. So now Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to have to intervene and take y'all motherfuckers out. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. We went through it, now Esau's got to go through it. Everything that we went through, Deuteronomy 28, now applies to Esau. Almost out of here. Proverbs 4 verse 17, let's see what that says. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just, which we are, is as the shining light. What do we have? The truth. That shineth more and more unto the perfect day. If you notice, if you go back, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years maybe, brothers wasn't putting up videos like they're doing it on the rate that they're doing it now. And it's not just GMS. IUIC, IHBK, Sakari, HODC, they putting up videos. Different individuals. I can go on all day, the different camps out there, but the Most High put the spirit on us. You don't feel, look, I don't feel good if I did one video. If I did one video, let's say a 40-minute video, hour video, I'm at the end of the day, I'm going to say, nah, that's not enough. I got to do another video. Got to do another video, or maybe a third video. Maybe it's a series of short videos. Give diligence to make thy calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fall or fail. Isaiah 16 and 18. In Isaiah 16 and 18, Benjamin Netanyahu quoted this. And you can read some of these in the NIV, in the NLT. It says, violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting and destruction within thy borders, but thou shalt call thy wall salvation and thy gates praise. Netanyahu had quoted this, then he quoted Samuel about the Amalekites, and he said that these people are the Amalekites. So we got to kill them, their women, their children, their babies. Got to slaughter them. Because now the South Africa, among all the 200 countries, sovereign nations there are, which are all a part of the UN, you had South Africa go before the World International Criminal Court, I believe the acronym is, the World Court or whatever, and brought genocide charges against Israel. So this guy Netanyahu was appalled at you would call it genocide. That's exactly what, if it quacks like a duck, it waddles like a duck, it's a duck. All right. So we're down to a civil war 2.0. We're down to the second civil war in the history of this country. Got a few more precepts and I'm done. 35th verse. Jeremiah 51 verse 35, the violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon. That's true reparations. Shall the inhabitants of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of the Chaldees, or Chaldea, shall Jerusalem say. We jump down to the 46th verse. Unless your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land, a rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. If a kingdom be divided against itself, it cannot stand. So we're at a time of wars and rumors of wars. So the United States is not in the midst of a civil war, but guess what? That's a rumor of war. And Russia, China, these Arab nations, these African nations, they're watching everything. Babylon is nothing but an open book. Ezekiel 7 verse 23. We got one more and we're done. And you can go home. Make a change, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of what? Of violence. That's their makeup. They're programmed for violence. Why did Yahweh destroy the world by water? Because of the violence. It opened up because of the violence. Matter of fact, I'll even go to that. violence and corruption. Joel 3:9, another scripture that you should read the whole chapter. Egypt shall be a desolation, which we know what Egypt is talking about, and Edom shall be a desolation. Edom is another name for Babylon the Great. And Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, which will become a desert. For the violence against the children of Yahweh, because remember, the northern kingdom was on the other side of the world, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. Let me finish reading it and I'm going to close. But Yahweh shall dwell forever. Wait a minute. Going to dwell forever. So Gog and Magog ain't going to jump us after the first 1,000 years in the kingdom. And Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed. For Yahweh dwelleth in Zion. Zion is a people before it's an idea. Zion is the ones, the remembered, the monument. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next one.